The following program is sponsored by Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County. This episode of Mosaic is brought to you in part by the Stacy and Mark Levy Center for Israel and Overseas.
Welcome to our 47th season of Mosaic. I'm your host, Susan Shulman Pertnoy. Mosaic is Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's weekly news magazine, exploring the most critical issues facing Jews here and around the world. Did you know there is a living bridge between Palm Beach and Israel? It's a partnership region, decades in the making, a region that needs our support now more than ever. Today on Mosaic, we'll meet the Israelis guiding its recovery and fighting for its rebirth. Don't go away. We're so proud to celebrate our community visionaries, donors who contribute $1 million or more, serving as an inspiration for all of Jewish Palm Beach.
If you want to make a difference in the lives of people, there's no better place to be engaged, involved, and give than the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County.
And being a part of our collective efforts, we are able to strengthen Jewish life, care for those people in need, care for the people of Israel, and confront anti-Semitism and acts of hatred against the Jewish community.
This is just the beginning. We can build this community even bigger and better.
Together, we can look to a very, very bright future.
Now is the time. Come and try something that you've never tried before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us because the mission of the Federation has never been more critical than it is today. Since October 7th, we have seen our community come together in ways we could not have anticipated.
We can no longer sit on the sidelines. We can no longer be silent.
And that's what led to the Activating Jewish Life movement. Now is the time for us to act.
I can no longer not be involved.
Now is the time for us to advocate.
I need to step up.
Now is the time for us to invest.
We're going to show up for ourselves and we're going to show up for one another.
The Activate Jewish Life movement is a first of its kind, intends to connect with families with children, to connect with teens, to connect with young adults.
That makes me very happy, like it gives hope for the future.
That feels great because I know my people are willing to stand up and say what they think is right.
And ensure that they always feel as though they're part of something larger than themselves, being part of a larger Jewish community.
Make an initiative to have it more widespread is exactly the moment.
It's such a unique opportunity to be able to launch a bold initiative just like this.
A bold plan, a necessary plan.
The Activate Jewish Life movement is going to be a game changer.
I think it's a no-brainer.
However people want to engage with Jewish life, we want to make sure that we are providing them with an opportunity to engage in ways that have relevance and meaning for them.
As Jews, as the minority, I think we need to show who we are and be proud of who we are.
I'm proud to be Jewish.
I'm proud to be Jewish.
I'm proud to be Jewish.
No one is standing alone, and I am proud to be Jewish.
Just as our grandparents and parents invested in us, and we're now investing in our children need to recognize Le Dor Vador.
Le Dor Vador.
Le Dor Vador.
Le Dor Vador.
Le Dor Vador. Le Dor Vador. Le Dor Vador. Le Dor Vador.
From generation
to generation.
From generation
to generation.
From generation
to generation.
What an opportunity we have to change the face of Jewish life.
Welcome back. We're honored to be joined by our partners from our TZAHAR region in Israel. And first of all, we have Lior Solomon, who's our Federation's Israel representative. And then we have two members of our Israeli steering committee. We have Pierre Baron, and we have the new chair of our steering committee, Yitzhak Ben Yair. Welcome to Mosaic, and also welcome to the States.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
First of all, for our viewers that don't know what the TZAHAR region is, could you just explain what comprises the TZAHAR region and where it is in Israel?
Okay, so the TZAHAR region is actually an acronym for Tzfat, Hatzor, HaGlilit, and Rosh, Pina. 3 communities in the eastern Galilee, so up in the north of Israel. We're about 10 kilometers south of the Lebanese border, famous border in the last couple of years. And we've been around for about 30 years, connecting our community here in the Palm Beaches to Tzfat, Hatzor, and Rosh, Pina.
So why is your location in the north so critical to Israel's survival?
Wow. Over the last couple of years, as we've known, the 7th of October, most of the communities in the northern border were evacuated. About 60,000 people were moved to different places around the country. And our region, Tzfat, Hatzor, and Rosh, Pina, actually became the new border of Israel.
Because tell me how many kilometers you were away from the cutoff of the border.
So we're about 10, 11 kilometers, depending if you're in Hatzor, which is the most northern part, or Tzfat, the further south part. But we were the new border, and the rockets flying into our region pretty much was the new Israel, the new northern border of Israel. And the resilience of our citizens, the 60,000 citizens in our region, being there, I think pretty much provided a lot of security for the rest of the country from the north.
And why is it vital that we support your region right now and we encourage people to move back?
It's kind of hard time. We're trying to recover from this, from the war, from the trauma. Trying. There is uncertainties what will be happening even tomorrow. So we don't know anything for now, for sure. But we do know that our region need to rehabilitate itself through all kinds of initiatives.
Pira, what is it like living there right now?
It feels like we are the new border. It feels like if we will have the resilience to stay, to keep our routine, to go to school, to go to work, it will affect all country, all north.
So what does it feel like? What does it feel like as a citizen? Do you feel the resilience? Do you feel the enthusiasm and encouragement to make sure life is revitalized?
From time to time, because we can see a lot of hope, we can see a lot of optimism, creativity, a lot of initiatives, a lot of projects. Nevertheless, this is from my perspective as a criminologist, the well-being of the population is still very, very critical. People suffers from anxiety, from depression, from all kinds of psychological compromises. So from one side, you see a lot of optimism. From the other side, we need so much resources to rehabilitate the mentally condition of our people.
So the government really was funding, after October 7th, was funding the people from the evacuated areas to help them. And our partnership region really did not receive much of the funding. So it's very important that our federation support you. Mm-hmm. What type of services have you received from the federation since October 7th?
So I will say exactly what you're saying. The 0 to 9 region was heavily funded. All the evacuated families received rental assistance, and businesses received assistance. In our region, unfortunately, there was none of that. So people were under fire, but they couldn't open their businesses. There's no tourism, which our region is based on. So a lot of small businesses and families suffered the consequences of the war, and also the security risks that we had. And Federation really came out and supported everything that was. I don't think there was a request that came out that Federation didn't say.
Can you give some examples?
Yeah, so it started pretty much in the first couple of months where we needed shelters. We had 60 kindergartens, daycare centers that didn't have shelters, bomb shelters for our children.
Yeah.
And Federation said, if that's a need, we're there for you. Security cameras so that we could work out where rockets were falling in our region, equipment for first responders.
Tactical equipment.
Tactical equipment for first responders, firefighting equipment over the summer when the rockets were being shot down by Iron Dome. A lot of the shrapnel were causing bushfires in the region, so the Federation supported that as well. And the ongoing support, programs for youth post-trauma, whether it would be horse riding therapy or one-on-one sessions with therapists. And the Federation really came out and were unbelievable. And I think that 30-year relationship was a real basis for that.
Yeah, it's more like an extended family, I would imagine. But I want you to explain to our viewers, because our region lives close to a military base, you were experiencing a lot of rocket hits or near misses and a lot of sirens. Could you tell us what that was like to live through that?
Not one military base.
How many?
4.
More than, yes.
Wow.
4 or 5.
Wow.
Tzfat has more than 4 military base. Most of them we know. Maybe there is some other we don't know where they are specifically. It's made Tzfat very targeted in the military. It means that we have every day or couple days we have siren. It means kids have to go from in school to shelters. If you are on road, you have to find somewhere to hide.
Think about a family, 2 parents, 3 kids. Now, most of the services are paralyzed. So 3 kids are at home, no education, and rockets are bombing all over the place every day, several times a day, and over your head. Like you're looking up and you see the explosions and the sound. If you go to Israel, most places, especially the bombing places, the places that they're bombing, if you will put your hands very hard on the table, you will see the fear, you will see the trauma. My child, I have a 4 years old now, and several times when we were in the roads driving for to get something, or just think about this reality when we heard the alarm and we have to stop the car, get out, lay on the ground, and I need to lay to protect with my body. I need to protect with my body over my son. Just think about what is going through this process. Like we will sleep. Most of the family that I know slept in the shelter because we didn't want to wake the children in the middle of the night.
Creating more trauma.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
correct.
the shelter was, I called it movement room. So when the alarm was active, we just ran into the shelter, dancing, and you're trying to do your best not to create some very severe trauma to the kids. So I have a baby now, but just think about families with 3, 4, 5 or more kids. That's
wow.
And when there is no education at all, it's hard.
It's incredibly intense. What specific services or programs are critically needed in your community right now? Can you think of anything?
I think the area of mental health is the real issue, and it's starting from children who have suffered so much, as Yitzhak said, with the sirens and the running to the safe rooms, and it goes through young adults who have done service in the army, and then the reserve soldiers and their families who didn't see their fathers for 400, 500 days. There's so much going on in that area that we really need to invest in, building that project to support the mental health areas, I think.
One example is the Israeli Forgiveness Project. We're trying to revive the souls of the people by teaching them how teaching them how to forgive. Forgiveness is a healing tool. It's a journey to healing, through learning about loving kind, mercy, to get over anxiety, depression, to increase the psychological well-being of the people, educating programs, all kinds of programs from all kind of to various populations, true leaders in the community.
Thank you. When we come back, we'll bring a local leader into the conversation to talk long-term plans for our living bridge to Israel. Stay with us. We're so proud to celebrate our community visionaries, donors who contribute $1 million or more, serving as an inspiration for all of Jewish Palm Beach.
If you want to make a difference in the lives of people, there's no better place to be engaged, involved, and give than the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County.
And being a part of our collective efforts, we are able to strengthen Jewish life, care for those people in need, care for the people of Israel, and confront anti-Semitism and acts of hatred against the Jewish community.
This is just the beginning. We can build this community even bigger and better.
Together, we can look to a very, very bright future.
Now is the time. Come and try something that you've never tried before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Join us, because the mission of the Federation has never been more critical than it is today. Since October 7th, we have seen our community come together in ways we could not have anticipated. And that's what led to the Activating Jewish Life movement. The Activate Jewish Life movement is a first of its kind. Intends to connect with families with children, to connect with teens, to connect with young adults, and ensure that they always feel as though they're part of something larger than themselves, being part of a larger Jewish community. It's such a unique opportunity to be able to launch a bold initiative just like this. The Activate Jewish Life movement is going to be a game changer. However people want to engage with Jewish life, we want to make sure that we are providing them with an opportunity to engage in ways that have relevance and meaning for them. Thanks to our partners in the Jewish community and our Federation agencies, what an opportunity we have to change the face of Jewish life.
We're back again with Lior Solomon, our Federation's Israeli representative. And joining us now is Chris Goldberg, who's our Federation's chair of Partnership Together Committee. Chris, welcome to Mosaic.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you back. I just want to ask you personally, coming from Palm Beach, why is it so important that we support our region now?
Oh, well, I will say the importance of being involved and active to support Israel is critical, especially after October 7th. There are so much need in the area and the country that Israel itself just can't do by its own. So it needs partners like us in all over the country, all over the world to support Israel, and it's really one of its greatest moments of need.
Well, but we can always give philanthropy, money, and whatever, but there's a partnership here. Tell us about the difference and why it's so important and impactful.
Well, I will say the biggest impact we have on the region is the people in the region know we are there for them. It is not necessarily the funding, it is not the programs we're doing, it is knowing there are humans, Jews around the world, who are with them in lockstep to support them. And that connection is critical.
Lior, can you elaborate on that from somebody living over there? Tell us about the morale when with the partnership.
So I say when the war started, you sort of obviously you're jolted and you have this unbelievable sense of, where to now, what's going to happen with us. And the 7th of October was probably that greatest moment in the modern state of Israel. And I think that on the 8th of October, when the Jewish community start ringing up and saying, where can we be for you? How can we help you? How can we provide assistance? At that time, you realize you're not alone. And I think that gives you so much strength. And our partnership has been, going on for 30 years. But it's at those times, those critical times, where you really feel that there's a family, and it's not just a partnership of, a federation and a community, but it's friends and family that are connected to one another and want to really help and provide whatever's necessary to make sure that you're feeling safe and you have the needs required on the ground.
Chris, I know you've made relationships with the steering committee over in Israel. Can you talk about that?
Sure. I mean, again, I think this shared experience has brought us even closer. And I remember one of the first Zooms we had after October 7th, we just listened to Lior talk. And he told us his experiences and what he was feeling, what his family was feeling, what his friends and neighbors were feeling. And for us, going through a trauma as well, at a different level trauma, that brought us even closer to our colleagues on the steering committee and our friends in the region.
What is Federation's commitment to helping the partnership moving forward?
Well, we've had a long commitment to the region, I think, since about 1995 when we started this partnership. And I believe this will continue for many, 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 many more years to come. And whatever our region needs, whether it's mental health issues, funding for support in that area that we can help with, education issues we can support with, whatever our region needs, and we have an amazing representative on the ground who really keys us into what is the most critical resource needed at that moment, we will do whatever we can, and that will never change.
Can I just add one point on that?
Absolutely.
The north of Israel after the 7th of October was not the main focus. Everyone was looking down south and how we could rebuild and deal with whatever was going there. And the Jewish Federation in December, 2 months after, were already on the ground with a mission in our region. And just seeing that and having people come to visit in a time where no one else in the world cared about us was so important. And we met with soldiers. We danced around the Hanukkah lighting candle ceremony with reserve duty soldiers and their families who came to join them, and just seeing one another and that hug, it was so important. Every hug was just an emotional moment.
Well, I think, and you said it earlier, we are family. We're all family here, and that's how we really view our partnership with the region, and that will never change.
What is your hope for the TZAHAR region and a message that you want to tell our Palm Beach community?
I hope that a lot of young people will come back to the region. Unfortunately, with the war and younger families looking for other options, that's an area we really need to focus on. So I'm hoping we say now build back better. So looking at our region in the periphery, in the north of Israel, and really building that into a much stronger part of society. It's one of the most beautiful places, and I really hope that the people of Palm Beach, come and visit. That's the main thing. It's those visits are so important to us, and really getting to meet the people and having dinner in a host family's home, touring around, coming to see the programs that the Federation's supporting, and just really being on ground is, that's what I really hope for the future, that we could just bring more and more people to come and see our region.
And it's also critical that we bring more industry into the region, because we must rebuild so that Hezbollah is not successful when we had to evacuate so many people to the center of Israel. We need them to move back to the north. It's critical.
Yeah, so I think the support, specifically the Federation with small business loans and mental health and all the security assistance that the Federation has provided, really gives that sense that we can come back to a safe society and a place that's going to hopefully develop in the future.
Chris, what's your most impactful personal memory of being in the region?
Well, I've only been to the region once, and it was a transformational experience. I was there with my wife on a Federation trip, and it was actually, it's amazing joint trip with the Cole JVC and the Partnership Together Committee. And we volunteered all around Israel, and we did many volunteer activities in the region. We were picking vegetables in the field. We were at shelters for for women that needed a safe home. And to be in Israel and experience Israel in that manner was so impactful. And to be in a region that our federation cares so much about as our family, to be there and be doing that was just something I'll never forget.
So might I take the leap of faith and say, is that why you decided to become chair of Partnership Together?
When I was on the committee, I always wanted to further my connection to Israel and the region, and when I was asked to be chair, it was the easiest decision I've ever had. Absolutely. And to work with Lior, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Lior, you've been on the show numerous times, and we're very fortunate to have you. Tell us about your background and why you even do this.
So I made Aliyah from Australia back in 2000, so almost 26 years now. And I started in Israel's high-tech industry, that's the truth. But I felt like I wanted to do something a lot more meaningful. I joined the Jewish Agency back in 2001, and ever since I've been in the non-profit world. And about 8 years ago, I was thinking about a sort of a change of direction, and this position came up, and it was a no-brainer just to work with a Jewish community and to know that I would have the ability to build a long-term relationship. I think that for me was extremely important, and over the years, the connections and friendships I've made has just been something I'll take with me for the rest of my life. I think it's so meaningful. Every day is, they say that you never have to work a day of your life if you're actually, enjoying what you're doing. And I enjoy every moment. It's, waking up in the morning, and it's just, what's the next exciting thing that we're going to do together. And this federation and our community in Tzfat, Hatzor, and Rosh Pina provide excitement and joy every single day.
Well, I think you're shortchanging yourself a little bit, because I think because of the way you lead, you create the culture, and it is just you've united both sides along with our partners over in Federation. It's just a remarkable relationship.
This program is sponsored by Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County.